Hello and welcome to the Next Gen Nation podcast where we talk about all things gaming and anime. I'm your host, Dominique.
I'm your other host, Timothy.
I'm your other host, Julian.
He's really set on this other host thing.
I'm sticking to it.
No one's pretty much at this point. Like he's in every podcast at this point. So
Okay, I guess
Yeah.
we'll let you.
yeah, we were doing like rotating third seat originally, and then we switched to like just like the same people all the time, and then occasionally like another person, and then
Yeah.
and then it's we're working on our format, I guess.
So it's a decent roster.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can work with this.
Yeah. But slightly different look this time. Again, we're looking different every episode.
Small changes.
Yeah, something new every day.
Yeah, we got big Pokemon over here to the left. Umbrella Girl to the right. I'm going to mess up all these names just to sound bad. We have Princess Zelda standing next to Dr. Luigi.
Who's behind Dr. Luigi?
Then we have
Is
Who
that
is
Nathan
that?
Drake?
I think that is Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it is.
We got
Next to Spoink.
and we got Green Mario.
I didn't even know he liked Daisy, but you know, it works.
Yep. And then we got Hamtaro in the back,
Yes, we do have Hamtaro.
right next to my Game Boy Color.
Oh, show off.
Yeah, I'm a show off. But how have you guys been?
I'm alright.
All right.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a hectic day. Long day, went to eat, and then like getting all this stuff set up, and then microphone troubles.
Yeah, this is always an experience.
Yep. But what have you guys been up to lately?
Not much has changed. Still getting ready for Legion. I think I've at least narrowed it down to what I'm gonna try and use when the next expansion comes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep it for like Horde or Alliance specific, but right now on the Alliance side, I'm leveling up a Druid, and the perk of that being that I can be a healer, tank, melee, DPS, or ranged
Mm-hmm.
at any given moment. So it's always nice to have every option available. And the range classes actually aren't that bad. I kind of enjoy the metronome like gameplay that goes behind being a balanced druid.
Right.
It's like they deal with like lunar and solar power, so you have this little pendulum thing that kind of switches you in between
That's interesting.
each phase.
Yeah.
It's all right. I know it's supposed to have like, I think there's some kind of change that they're doing where it's not so much automatic as it is you kind of control which form you're in or which phase you're in.
Yeah.
So that's going to change gameplay a little bit, but it seems like it'd still be pretty good.
Okay.
So I'm okay with that. And then for my Horde side, I'm working on a shaman.
Shaman. I remember seeing like this cool video about a shaman. It was like an orc shaman or something a long time ago when I was still like little, like my cousin when he was still playing World of Warcraft. Like it was like his inspiration for making a shaman.
Right.
This guy had like a hammer. There was like this song going. It was kind of like a music video and like a montage of like him playing the shaman. I don't remember what the video was called. It was a long time ago. It was
Okay.
interesting. It was a pretty cool video.
But yeah,
So-
the shaman is actually pretty inspirational. I always see like gameplay from that class and I'm like, you know what, I would really like this if I could just get past leveling 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually working with it. I'm it's not as flexible as the druid where it doesn't have a tank spec, but it does have melee DPS, range DPS, and heal spec.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still pretty good.
Okay.
And I actually don't mind the range DPS that much. I just like the idea of controlling the elements in general, so it works. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with going into Legion. And other than that, I haven't been doing much at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as far as my week goes, again, I've also not really been doing much. I haven't really been watching anything apart from Prince of Tennis at night. Just keeping up with shows.
How far are you guys in that now?
It's just me watching, and I don't know where Arnold is right now. I'm
You probably marathoned it already.
I'm about, I think, like 30 episodes into the show so
Okay.
far. It's fun. It's staying fun. The characters are interesting, and it's just hype. It's a hype show. Like I said last time, it's a sports anime. They're made to be hype.
Yeah.
So that's been a good time. Most of my week has been spent just playing Street Fighter. Lots and lots and lots of Street Fighter. I switched over. You saw earlier. I switched over from Laura to Armika.
Yeah.
Just because she fits me more, and honestly, Laura isn't that good. She's probably one of the weaker characters in 5 so far, and in my opinion, the worst grappler in 5. So I just wasn't really feeling her, so I switched over to Armika. Survival mode is tough, as you saw.
On hell.
Yeah, on hell. God damn it. Like normal, it's super easy until you hit like 28 and then they start wrecking your shit. It's ridiculous.
Until you get to the very end.
Yeah, the very end where you're like, oh, I'm gonna get these cool
You're almost
colors. You're right there, and then combo to death.
They take it away from you.
Yep. It's like they were like show. It's like you have like a lollipop sitting in front of like a baby, and the baby's like reaching for it, and you're like, haha, nope, and then just eat the lollipop in front of the baby.
And then you punch the baby in the face. Like,
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Yep, you punch the baby in the face. So that's pretty much been my entire week. I haven't really been doing anything either other than Street Fighter. It's been occupying my time. So.
All right. What about you, Julian?
I haven't been doing much also.
It's been a slow week for us.
Yeah, it has. I mean, mostly, of course, Street Fighter.
You still into XCOM? XCOM?
Oh, actually, I haven't played the XCOM since Street Fighter came out.
Oh.
Yeah, I love XCOM. That one's good. I need to finish it. Have my little team put together and everything. No one's died yet. Like, I got a solid team. Just hoping they stay together. No one dies. Or else I'm just going to quit the game and come back to it, like, in a week. Because I'm just, for just, trauma.
Could you have to mourn the loss?
Yes. No, I just play Street Fighter. I watched a little bit of anime. I watched a like kind of old show, God's Memo Pad. Have you guys seen that?
I've heard of it.
I haven't heard of
It's-
this.
Pretty good, actually. I mean, it's not like amazing, but it's like good, like and adorable.
What is this?
It's about like this dude in high school who like no one really pays attention to, and then like he gets like to like a little like a neat club. It's a neat detective club. Or not a club, it's just a neat detective like agency basically, but it's just run by this little girl with a bunch of monitors.
Okay.
And she's like adorable, and she's addicted to like caffeine and like Dr. Pepper and like ramen with no noodles, which is weird. And then like they go like it like they do different cases, like people come up like, hey, I need your help, and then like they'll be like, oh, I need help, and then they'll be like, all right, we'll help you out. But I don't know, it's a good show. I like it. I've been enjoying it. I watched like halfway through it when it was airing, and then I dropped it.
Oh.
I have no idea why. So I decided to pick it back up again. I was like, why did I drop this? So
I've had those moments where I just randomly dropped a show, even though I liked it. Like I just stopped watching.
Yeah.
That kind of happened with The World God Only Knows. Like I was like, this show's all right. I'm watching it, and yeah, well,
I forgot all about that show.
Yeah, this show's going good so far, and then I just stopped.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's happened to me a few times also where I just drop a show and I don't know why.
Yeah, because I was on my anime list and seeing like the stuff I dropped, and I'm like, wait, why did I drop this? Like what's it called? Terran Resonance or whatever.
Oh, you dropped Terran?
Yeah, and I had it was on my dropped list for some reason. I was like, what? And I loved it. I was like, this is great. And
Yeah, no, it's a good show.
Yeah, and then I put it on my hold list, and I was like, why did I put it on my drop list? And I was like freaking out because I was like, I love that show.
I thought you watched Terran Resonance, Dominique. Didn't you?
No, did I? I don't think I finished it.
Oh, you never finished it?
Did I? I'm trying to remember.
It's a solid show.
No, it was really good.
No, it's really good. I remember seeing it like
if I didn't finish it, I probably missed it by like 1 or 2 episodes.
Right.
I thought I finished. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, it was a really well put together show. I saw like 5 episodes, I think. I got into it. I don't know why I put it on my drop list, but I remember like an Anime Expo like 2-3 years ago, like they aired it, but like it was at Anime Expo and we saw it before Japan did. So all the like, weeaboos were like,
Yeah.
yay.
Oh boy.
Was that the one we went to? Because they previewed it at the Nitro Plus panel when we were there.
They previewed it, but did they actually do the episode?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, 'cause we watched 2 episodes of it.
Probably.
And I was like, this is great.
That year at Anime Expo was fun, especially when we went to the hentai dubbing panel. That was fun.
But nobody participated because
Because they skipped the first row. They really did skip the first few rows. They just went straight to the back.
No, they did. They went straight to the people. At the end.
Even if we like made the attempt to, like they still wouldn't have called us.
That's a
lame.
shame.
It was.
It was still a fun panel.
It was favoritism.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can get to Anime Expo
this year.
This year.
Hopefully we do. I don't know. What's going on this year? You think we're going to have some big news for the anime world?
I mean, there's not a lot of big news in anime in general. Like even this week, there wasn't like a lot of big news for anime, and like the last few weeks haven't been big.
I feel like that year was just a great year.
It was
for anime in general. Like I feel like all those seasons were really solid, and this past year, 2015, didn't feel like that to me.
Yeah, no, last 2014 was pretty strong anime year.
Yeah,
a lot of good stuff came out that year, and that was a good anime expo and a really crowded one too.
Oh yeah, it was packed.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Oh, it was disgusting. Oh my god, it was so packed.
But hopefully we can make it to Anime Expo this year, and hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully, but yeah, that's that's been pretty much my week. Instead of I mean, not instead, but besides staying up all night last night, I am very tired. But I came on the show. I'm pushing myself.
Yeah, last night I was playing a little bit of Street Fighter with Joe, and after I was done playing, I was texting Julian talking about Armika and stuff, and then he texted me back. It's like midnight and stuff. We talked for a little bit. And then I go to sleep, and I guess Julian just never went back to sleep.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick you up around like whatever you said, like 11 to 10:30 or whatever."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "All right, I'll be awake then." And I was literally still awake then. Yeah. I almost went to sleep like at 8 in the morning, but I decided not to because like I thought I would just keep sleeping and die.
no, that'd be the worst.
Yeah. So I just decided to stay up.
Okay.
And got on the Mustang.
Yep.
The Demi-Stang.
Yeah. I'm sorry about your sleep schedule. You gotta go to sleep, man. Gotta go to sleep.
The sleep's for the weak.
Oh, I keep hitting my microphone today.
See, that's what happens when you sleep. But yeah, that's been my week. Street Fighter, God's memo pad with like one cute girl, and no sleep.
Just one.
All right. Then I'll go ahead and just go straight into the news now. I'm gonna be looking off screen because the news is over on this left side where my computer is. First bit of news, Punch Club is getting a new free expansion called the Dark Fist. It adds 3 hours of new content and features like a new storyline, cross-platform cloud saves, and Twitch integration. So that's pretty neat. I don't actually know too much about Punch Club. I haven't really looked at it. Have any of you guys seen it?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It was neat looking, I guess. Next bit of news, Rocket League. Psyonix announced a new Batmobile DLC that comes out Tuesday, March 9th. The pack is called Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. And in addition to the car, they'll be adding 3 new exclusive antenna flags with like characters on it.
Right.
And next up, Uncharted 4. I don't know if you heard about this, but they released a new trailer recently, and it included artwork from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And so during the trailer, there was a painting somewhere in the background that showed like an image from the Black Flag art book. And Naughty Dog has since apologized for it, and then they edited the trailer and re-uploaded it without the artwork. But yeah,
wasn't it just concept art? I mean, no, wasn't there something like someone from that worked on Assassin's Creed was working for Naughty Dog?
Yes,
Yeah.
someone from like Ubisoft moved over to Naughty Dog, and they included the artwork from the art book. And so, like, it was, like, slightly different. Like, they didn't have the characters on there. It was just, like, the setting. But it still looked really, really similar to the original artwork.
Yeah, but I can see how they can get pissed off, though.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was actually supposed to be there. Like, if they thought they could just sneak it in there, or if it was just, like, filler and they forgot to swap it out.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. But, like, anyway, they still removed it from the trailer and put the trailer back up.
Yeah, and they got some exposure to one of the only good Assassin's Creed games, in my opinion. You know,
yeah,
can't be that mad.
I guess so.
Make people go and play it now.
Okay. All right. So for anime news, Netflix announced that it'll exclusively premiere Perfect Bones, which is a new anime series from Production IG, and it's going to be the first original anime title to debut all episodes simultaneously in 190 countries around the world, according to the company.
Perfect Bones. Is that what you were watching?
No, it's a new Netflix exclusive, I guess.
Which one were you watching?
Beautiful Bones.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, I still haven't finished it, so I'll probably finish it eventually. But I haven't really gotten around to it. I'm occupied with Prince of Tennis right now.
Okay.
Show's too hype. I can't stay away. And finally, the second trailer for Gundam The Origin 3 Dawn of Rebellion streamed recently. The anime will be available in English early summer and will screen in 15 theaters around Japan for 2 weeks starting May 21st. Limited edition Blu-ray disc will go on sale on site during the theater screenings, and standard Blu-ray and DVDs will ship on June 10th in Japan. And that's all the news that I have.
Okay.
Yay.
Yep. So, do you have anything you want to mention, Dominique?
No, not really. Oh, wait, actually, if you have not picked up your free Mew code, you might want to go and do that.
Oh, they're still doing that?
It's going on all year.
Oh, I did not know
this
that.
entire month has been for Mew. So starting next month, in March, they're going to be doing Celebi.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to change. Like, each month's going to be a different legendary until the end of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I traded in my copy of Y, and I never picked up Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire.
I have Sapphire.
Oh, wait, how do you get the code?
What?
What's the code thing? Like,
It gets you a free...
It's just a code for free Mew.
oh, just like up.
Yeah.
Just up.
You get it through mystery gift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
basically,
okay.
yeah, just a mystery gift, but it's supposed to be a maxed out level 100 Mew. I think each legendary is supposed to be like that. I can't say for sure though. But
yeah. I haven't touched the Pokemon games in a while. I stopped playing Y. Y was a little bit boring.
It was a bit boring.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I mean, it
finish
had cool ideas and stuff, but they didn't really. I think it was more just showing off the new mechanics that they were throwing in, and then the new graphics and stuff, and the diagonal movement, and the ability to sit on a bench.
That blew my mind. It did.
Diagonal,
I was like,
diagonal movement was actually a pretty big deal to me.
Yeah, and then the roller skates and stuff.
or if you
were
could
pretty
run,
neat.
can you do in the old ones? No, you can't run in the old ones, could you?
You can run.
Sapphire, you
Running
could run
shoes.
by then.
Could
Yeah,
you?
You had running
Okay.
shoes by then.
Yeah, you had running shoes.
That actually may have been the first time they implemented running shoes. Was it gold and silver or was it sapphire?
I think it was gold and silver.
Was it gold and silver?
I think so. I don't remember it 100% though.
Right. But yeah,
But
it's been around.
Yeah, but what X and Y did introduce was the roller skates, which was pretty neat. It let you move around a little bit better.
Yeah, that was pretty alright.
Yeah. All right, so why don't we go ahead and get into our topic now?
Alright.
You want to talk a little bit about it, Dominique?
Yeah, so last week we were talking about the release of Street Fighter V and just our general thoughts and ideas about Street Fighter and, as a whole. And it got us to thinking, there's been a lot of talk about casual players and hardcore players. And I think it's pretty important to go into further detail and greater depth about, the pros and cons of having casual play and hardcore play.
Yeah.
And what defines each group.
Yeah, and like one of the big controversies behind Street Fighter V that was going on recently that we didn't really touch upon last time, Street Fighter V during its initial release was very heavily oriented towards the competitive scene.
Yes.
One of the big things was they wanted to get the game out as soon as possible so they can bring it to, what was it? The event? I don't remember the event exactly, but they wanted to bring it to some event.
I know what you're talking about.
As
I don't
soon as
remember the
possible.
name.
I don't remember the name of it, but like they wanted to get it out quickly, and so they released it with like a very limited single player content. And I did mention the limited single player content last time, but didn't really elaborate upon it. There's only a story mode, a survival mode, and a training mode, and that's pretty much it. That as far as single player goes, it was very heavily focused on the online play.
Right.
And so that really doesn't help the casual scene very much at all. There's actually no natural way for you to actually get good at the game unless you were already good at the game before. And so you could like go in and start learning your combos immediately in training mode and then go online. And so because of the lack of single player content, a lot of the casual scene was very upset because there was really nothing for them to do. They didn't want to sit online and get bodied by everyone for an entire day before they actually started getting good. So that was
before
like,
it started getting balanced.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't want to go through that process.
yeah,
over.
no, it's really rough getting in at first. Like even for me, not being great at Street Fighter, it was really hard playing online until recently when I switched over to Armika and really started practicing. So it's rough right now. It's getting bad reviews just purely like the mechanics are super solid. It's still a great game, but the way they released it wasn't great, and a lot of people feel it shouldn't have been released at a full price because it's not a complete game.
Yeah, it was admittedly rushed. Even they fessed up to the fact that they were trying to get it out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And it does appear that they're gonna try and patch in the rest of the game, or at least more of it, once they bring Alex out in March. But you know, that's still a great amount of time to go without having the full game, having spent full price on it. But you know,
like while I myself am perfectly fine with just the multiplayer, not everyone wants just that. So
there's been a lot of emphasis on just going straight to multiplayer for some games lately.
Yeah,
which is
like Battlefront, for instance, is purely multiplayer.
Yeah.
And not
and they have the same thing, basically a training mode and survival.
So like, there's this running pattern with games right now where they're just releasing purely online games, and that's not good because not everyone plays purely online. Some people don't even have PS Plus. Some people don't have Xbox Live. They're purely playing games for the single player experience, and so those games don't appeal to those people. And a lot of people are basically just saying like, I'm never gonna buy Street Fighter V because of the way of the state that they released it in.
Right.
It's a rough year so far with how they're releasing the games right now. So because of this big controversy with Street Fighter and like its emphasis on the competitive scene, what do you think are the pros and cons of casual and hardcore gamers?
Well, casual is where you make your money.
Yep.
Hardcore is where you keep your sustainability and how the game has longevity.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the more interested the hardcore fan base is in the game, they're going to explore, they're going to try and reach in and try and squeeze every inch of tech, or, you know, out of it. They're going to try and find out as much as they can and basically perfect the game.
Yeah.
So that obviously doesn't happen overnight. So it's because of the hardcore community that the game can last multiple years. You know, just to go off Street Fighter for just a moment, we still have Melee as one of the largest tournaments for fighting games, period.
Yeah, the way
that game's been out for, what, how many years now?
Oh, very long time.
It's a long time. It has to be over 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very long time. Very old game. Yeah, and the reason it's been able to last so long is because of the heavy amount of mechanics that go into playing the game and how how much effort you have to put in to actually get good at the game. And people really like those hardcore mechanics, and that's why they start practicing it and they continue playing it. And when they take those away, people start to get frustrated. Take the transition from Street Fighter 3 to 4, for instance. 4 is a slower game. Street Fighter 3 was a much faster game, and a lot of the people that really liked 3 did not like 4 because it felt a lot like the transition from Melee to Brawl, because they're moving over to a slower game, taking away some of the things that made Street Fighter 3 so popular.
But at the same time, each group needs the other group in order for it to work.
Yes, casual gamers are very important.
Casuals get the game started. Hardcore players, you know, they bring out the full potential of a game, and in return, that then allows the casual player base to be more interested in the game.
Yeah.
Like, they see these things and they're like, I want to be able to do that too. And that causes them to, you know, people who maybe didn't buy it when it first released, now you're getting some new sales on the game where you probably wouldn't have. Yeah,
like not necessarily just the initial money that they get from the games, but like the audience at a tournament. Most of the people watching those events are casual gamers that are just purely interested in the game. So you could also say that casual gamers also help the game last too, because they participate. They buy tickets to go to these events and to watch it. And then also all the people that are watching from home via Twitch or YouTube or whatever. It helps keep interest in the game. The hardcore gamers keep the interest of the casual gamers, so the casual gamers can continue bringing in revenue for the game. And MaximilianDood, I mentioned this earlier, he does a really good video on like casual gamers and how important they are to a competitive game community.
Right.
I'll post a link to it because he does put it very put it in a way that's really easy to understand, in how the people that aren't necessarily out there to truly get good at the game, they still have an interest in it because it's interesting to watch, just like how we watch sports.
Yeah.
Which is it's like an esport thing. Watching sports, it's the same thing. You're watching it because you're interested in it, but not necessarily because you want to be good in the game. You have anything to say, Julian?
Isn't much. You guys are speaking.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. No, I agree with both of you. Did the Maximilian talk about casual, like how supporting like helps like lengthily like support the game too?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what you mentioned?
Yeah.
Because casual to me is kind of weird. Because when I think of like someone like says describe like a casual gamer, I just think someone's like, oh look, the new game's out, I'm gonna go buy it or like rent it or go to freaking like that gaming website, I don't know what it's called, GameFly or whatever, and play the game for like 2 weeks or a month or whatever.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, it's cool. Oh look, this other game came out, I'm gonna get this now and play that a little bit. And also when I think about casual gamers, I think of them like having lives and stuff. So like they might play a little bit, like, you know, whatever it is, Call of Duty, whatever they want to play.
Yeah.
And then for only a couple hours, and then they gotta go to bed, and then the next morning they go to work and stuff like that. And then in the next day they might not even play games. Just like, to me, that's casual. You know?
And that's also a really good point. Casuals have this really negative stigma about just being complete ass at a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. You can be good at a game and you're still casual because you don't have the time to commit as, you know, a hardcore player would do. Like, you see these people on Twitch, that's their revenue, that's their lives, that's their job. If they stop playing that game, they basically go broke and homeless.
Yeah. Like
that's not necessarily the case for everyone, especially not.
Yeah.
There's this phrase that floats around all the time. We hear it all the time, dirty casual. But when people use that phrase, they don't understand that how much they contribute to the community as far as revenue and like viewership goes.
Yeah, I mean, they still contribute by buying the game.
Yes, exactly.
Actually buying the game and whatnot. And like, I can see some people who are casual gamers, you know, go to events like to see that game they like, you know, and watch it.
Yeah. It would be really boring if there's a tournament and there's only the people playing in the tournament and there's no one watching it.
Well, the thing is, when you think of a hardcore gamer, like majority of the audience, like for example, let's say Evo, majority of them are the hardcore gamers, you know, and they're so hardcore they went out to Vegas or you know, to watch Evo or grow up, you know, like when Capcom Cup happened. Yeah, like up north, you know, hardcore. And to me, I see that as hardcore. You know, I don't see casual. Sorry.
No, but like basically what you're saying. Like hardcore are the thousands, or maybe like it's a pretty big revenue for Evo. So it's probably like tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands if you're lucky. Those are hardcore players that go to that game. And, you know, they compete in exhibition matches, or they actually compete in a tournament. Maybe they don't win, but they stay for the show.
Oh, no, yeah.
But then you still have, like, hundreds of thousands to millions of people at home watching them play this game.
Yeah. They can watch it,
And that's where the casuals still contribute.
Yeah, of course.
Making a lot more money than the people that actually showed up because you're getting all the ad revenue and so on and so forth. So.
Yeah, it's very much an intermingled community. You can't really separate the two because they contribute to each other in such a heavy way. The people going to the event and participating in like the tournaments provide what the people watching at home want to watch. And whereas like the people watching at home provide the viewership to the people that are actually participating, and like you said, brings in the revenue through via ads. And then there's the community of people that like to actually go to these events. And at those events, it's very much a mix of the hardcore and the casuals at the events too. One can argue you have to be hardcore to actually go to these things. Not necessarily, because there's also casual fans going to watch sports too. So so like,
what I mean. Hardcore in a sense that that's not necessarily a local tournament. That's a worldwide tournament. People are coming from all around the world just to watch.
Yeah.
That's where the hardcore kicks in. Like, if I lived in Las Vegas, I'd definitely go and see Evo because it's like right down the street, basically.
Yeah.
But, you know, even for me, making that drive or flight to Las Vegas is like, not really. If I'm not gonna compete or anything, you know.
Yeah, but it's like hard. I don't know. To me, because it's like I think there's like different subcategories for casual, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, like the one description I said when I think of a casual is like someone who only plays like video games a couple hours, whatever. They don't have a lot of games. They might rent games and stuff like that. And then there is also other casuals, you know, like I mean, I'm really into video games, but like even I consider myself a casual because like I don't like dedicate. I mean, you know, for example, Street Fighter, like I play a lot of it and I try to get better at it. But I don't see myself just like sticking to that and that's my life, you know? I'm thinking of other things, you know, looking for a job and stuff like that, you know, as a car mechanic and stuff like that. So technically I would be considered as casual, and Dominique would be considered as a casual.
I'm a casual. As many MMOs as I play, I'm still a casual.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not like, I don't do our raid schedule is we're doing 4 out of 5 days
Yeah.
of the, you know, weekday, and you have to be here at this time, 100% attendance, blah blah blah. That's hardcore. That's not me.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard. I don't know. Sometimes it's just kind of hard to, yes, you know, separate like who's casual and who's the hardcore gamer. Because I don't know. Because like someone else watching or one of you can think, like, no, I'm a hardcore gamer. You can see all of us as a hardcore gamers, which is, you know, fine too. But I think it's just,
But we're not.
yeah, but it's really not. But like,
But I always see the irony. It's such irony you can see a casual player, like talking down to another casual because they think
that they're hardcore.
For
oh
some
yeah,
reason. And honestly, I
It's-
think that's where most of the negative stigma comes from like our own community of casuals, not realizing that they fit in the same.
It's a big like perspective thing also. Like one person, like an onlooker, could look at like someone like us and, like you said, think that we're casual gamers because we play video games so much, but really we're not. In our perspective, we still consider ourselves casual because we're not putting in the immense amount of time to truly get good at something. And then, like you said, there's the casual gamers looking down on other casual gamers because they think that they themselves are hardcore. So it's like a big perspective thing. What in your mind you think you are, but also there is the factual thing of a hardcore gamer being someone that's truly dedicated to this thing, and truly putting in the time to get competitive at it, go to tournaments, things like that.
I personally don't think you become a hardcore player until you start making some kind of revenue from what you do.
Right.
yeah, I'll agree with that.
Whether it be streaming on Twitch or actually going to tournaments. Like,
then where do we make the separation between a hardcore player and a professional player? Would there be a separation between that?
you can't be a professional player unless you're hardcore.
Right, but like
A hardcore player doesn't have to be professional, but a professional player is just a successful hardcore player.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess if you want to like put a third category in there, like being the best of the best means that you're a professional player, because that means you're the elite of the hardcore group.
Right.
No, it's also like even one of the pros used to watch a lot for Ultra 4 Street Fighter, PR Balrog. Like he's a professional player and he's, you know, really good. Like he's one of the, you know, top guys in America. But like he still works though. Like he works for, you know, doing his work and stuff, and sometimes he can't make it those competitions, but he's still considered professional, you know, gamer. But it's just like, I don't know, to me it's kind of hard to distinguish like who's this and that. And on the whole subject as a whole though, I do agree that casuals do support, you know, a game, you know, because like if there was just the hardcore gamers, it wouldn't last long at all. You can look at old games like that no one really plays anymore. I can't think of the top of my head, but like that's the only hardcore players play. It's not going anywhere. Right. It's just them playing kind of like with each other. And going back and forth. That's like literally it.
Yeah, the reason I posed the question of hardcore versus professional was because, like you mentioned, like you can't really be a hardcore player unless you start making a revenue or something along those lines. That's why I got a little bit confused.
Okay, good. Yeah, maybe the wording was off, but a hardcore player's intention, okay, let's put it that way. Their intention is to play professionally and make money from whatever they're doing. Like, you're not gonna spend all this time playing, well, I guess some people do, but in general, you're not spending your entire life like 24/7 practicing something just to make it a hobby. Like you're more than likely trying to take it further and you know, make something out of yourself using that trade.
Distinguishing between casual and hardcore, you could say it's a question of intention, what you want to do with it. If you want to just play it as a hobby, you're casual, and that's what we do. We play it as a hobby, and we just do this thing as a like just because we feel like it.
Like you can be really good at it, but you're still pretty casual if it's just, you know, a hobby.
If you're practicing like 24/7 in order to get good, so you can do something with it, then that could be where you go hardcore. And then going back to Julian's thing of like, I forgot how I was gonna word this. Go ahead, Dominique. You can say something. I forgot what I was going to say. Or Julian. I don't know.
I don't. It's like back to what I was saying before. Like, I do feel like there's separate like classes for the casual, and then maybe a couple different ones for hardcore gamers too. You know, if you think of hardcore gamers, it's not just people making money and stuff. It could be just someone who lives in their mom's basement playing, only a couple or one game like 24 hours in their basement. That's considered as a hardcore gamer because that's all they do is play games.
Yeah, that's
and talk to their online friends.
That exists.
So like they're considered hardcore gamers, and like they're not looking or hoping to get like money off it. They might, but some aren't.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then casuals, like I said before, like the people who rent games kind of play it now and then. There's people who like us, who like we have passion for video games, but we're not like gonna like quit our job and stuff and just sit in like our parents' rooms or whatever. I mean their houses. And just play video games. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to like classify like this is a casual and this is a hardcore gamer. That's it. It's like it's almost like there's different branches off both those terms. And that's how I feel. I don't know. It's kind of a weird topic because like that's just how I feel. I feel like it branches out to a lot of different people. Because I seen people who casually play, like I can see like my sister, she like she's a casual gamer. Like she'll randomly play GTA and then randomly play Black Ops 3 for like a couple hours, and that's it. She won't play for like a month, and then she'll play it again. But that's considered casual, Yeah. That's considered as casual gaming, So
yeah, like it's not to say that each casual player is the same level of casual, and each hardcore player is the same level.
Like, yeah. There's levels.
Yeah.
But if it was that one even like the casual like that only plays games for a couple hours and stuff like that, they're still buying the game, so in a way they're still supporting whatever it is. I know a lot of people bought Street Fighter 5. I know that for sure, and more people might buy it after March. Maybe some people are not going to buy it at all, but some people are waiting till the March update happens and then they're going to buy it because that's when I feel like I can pay $60 for. But
what we're mostly getting at here is like there shouldn't be a negative stigma about the term casual gamer.
Oh, not at all.
Or hardcore.
Not at all. Yeah, like the two of them, they are both people that are trying to support the gaming community. They're both people. Where am I going with this?
They both support the community just in different ways,
Yeah.
but you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, exactly.
In all honesty, every hardcore player starts off as a casual. So
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I say like hardcore players don't really bash casuals as much as people would think, because I think that they actually understand that. Everyone starts somewhere. I think it's the people who are still stuck. It's like, it would be like if we had an elitist attitude.
Yeah.
Like if we thought that we were hardcore when we're not, and we were bashing people who were just, this game looks nice, I wanted to get it, so I got it.
Yeah. That's like me, like when like me and Timothy play Street Fighter, and like even though like I get more wins, and I'm like, oh, you're the casual, I'm the hardcore gamer. Because
we're joking.
But that's like me doing that, like putting him down because like he didn't beat me. And I trying to be basically more superior, like on a power trip, because I beat him.
Yeah, all you're doing by doing that is you're discouraging them from playing the game.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
From playing games in general.
Exactly.
You're creating a community of people that shouldn't really exist. Like take the League of Legends community.
Every community.
Every community.
Oh.
Except for the Dark Souls. The Dark Souls community is actually pretty solid. They're really nice people.
Actually dark.
But like a lot of communities, they will bash on people for being bad at the game. But all you're doing is creating a smaller community, and by creating that smaller community, you're not going to have your game anymore because the game's not going to be making money anymore.
Yeah, you're creating a rift. You're creating a divide, and people who were interested in a game are no longer interested in a game, and people who could potentially be influenced into the game have this huge wall of people saying, don't even start playing this game because everyone in there are just like assholes.
Yeah, and it happens in every single game.
Yeah.
Like, even if like...
Oh no, every community has it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in Dark Souls, but it's probably the smallest percentage.
Yeah, it's really interesting how...
very rare.
Yeah,
and I don't know how they did it, but kudos.
Like, it's, like you said, very interesting how they were able to create such a strong and interconnected community, even if there's like a few bad apples in there, because everyone has their bad apples. There's always going to be that one person like, oh, you scrub, go uninstall and kill yourself. But But yeah, most of the communities out there, I don't know why they do this. It's just a competitive thing. I think it has to do with like they're trying to be competitive. They're getting frustrated because people aren't doing well. But by bashing on those, they're never going to get good.
Right. I just feel like they're in like a loop. Those people are like in a loop where like they kind of just are stuck where the level they're at, and then since they feel like insecure about themselves, this is what I really think. Since they feel insecure about themselves because they're in that loop and they know it, that they'll find other people who are worse than them and bash them and take it and
like I don't
lash out on them.
I don't want you to get better than me,
just to make them feel better. It's basically bullying. Yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah, it's a very real thing, a thing called cyberbullying. We hear about it all the time. Bullying not in real life but online, because they don't actually have to physically face a person, so it's easier to do it.
Yeah, it's just safe little way to be a little douche. And I always think it's like the dumbest thing too, but it's effective. Like, I personally don't get it. I've never really understood how cyberbullying could be so effective when you just break it down and think about it. But it's because it's so simple and just like makes no sense that it's so effective.
Yeah. Take Tumblr for instance. A lot of those people will destroy a person for saying like a single thing. Like I remember.
Oh no, you go to any forum, and there's a hive mind waiting to attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just go on like any like.
You ever go to a League forum, like a League of Legends forum?
Oh no, I haven't actually gone.
It's worse than Tumblr, if you ask me. It's like, I just got this new character and I think he's good. I can't say.
Yeah, they're like, you scrub, and they're like, get good, you low elo piece of trash.
Yeah, even an explicit warning isn't enough for what I've read in those forums, but
yeah,
it gets bad. It's just. Whenever you, free speech is
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's free speech. Like we praise it for and everything. But
you should have the freedom to do it, but people use it as an excuse to just be a complete monster towards others, and that's not really the point of it.
Yeah. And there's literally nothing. I mean, there's always gonna be that person. There's always gonna be this group of people. There's always gonna be that guy who's going to put other people down just to make him feel better about himself or whatever it is, or get mad at him and making him like it's his fault, whatever. If it's like League, it'll be like, no, it's your fault because we lost, you know?
And then some people just think it's fun. Like,
people love it.
Like the whole troll concept is the whole idea of being an asshole is just funny.
Yeah. They enjoy it for some reason.
It's really ironic. We call these things communities. But when you really look at it, it's not really a community because they're just attacking each other. It's an interesting thing, and it's a really upsetting thing. We're always gonna have it. It's never gonna go away. But like, we should at least minimize it. Try to be nicer to each other. Peace for all. Peace.
It's
that's not gonna happen.
I feel like it really is like the trial by fire, because honestly. The worst that there are some really top-notch players in every community that are just scumbags for whatever reason. But usually it's just the average player that's just really creating that cesspool of negativity. And it's like, once you get past whatever point that is, like whatever that average level, once you get past that and make it a little deeper end, or if you're just hanging out back with like the beginners, you kind of don't get as much flack. You really don't see as much of it. But it's like when people play enough to think they know what they're talking about, they use it. They use any opportunity they can to just trash
person down. Yeah. Just for their better,
because
for themselves.
Because I can't actually do what I'm saying, but I know that's how it works. So I'm gonna tear you down because you're not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird to me, but
it's actually funny. It reminds me of a character from Prince of Tennis. As I was watching it, there's one of the characters like, haha, I have 2 years of experience. Praise me. You guys suck. It's one of the main characters, and he's not like a bad guy or anything, but like he's just one of those people that like thinks he's above everyone, but he's really kind of crappy. I don't know. I just thought I'd bring it up.
He's one of the main players.
Not a main player, but like he's like a side character, but you see him pretty much every episode. He's like always on the sidelines watching and like commenting on things.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Green shirt.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
One of the ones that they
I have
yeah
2 years of
that's
tennis
exactly what I'm
experience.
talking about. Like people know that it's like people who know the theory but can't actually execute it themselves. Like I guess they have that frustration that they don't have the talent to actually pull off what they know. And I don't know. It just makes, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a weird thing to me, but it's common.
It's a mysterious thing.
Yeah.
It's very much a mysterious thing. The way these things work. But yeah, like I feel like we covered a good amount of things in a very short period of time.
Yeah, that was a lot of casual hardcore talk.
Yeah, like I don't think we can really add anything else to this topic. We pretty much
Yeah,
covered
it's
everything.
it's just gonna go on like
So we're gonna start.
like it's just gonna be a rant for like 5 hours or even longer.
It's a shorter episode, but it's like a very filled episode because we're continuously talking. We're talking faster than normal, so it's kind of condensed more. It's a little bit more dense of an episode, even though it's shorter. So I guess we should pretty much just end it here.
It's time to end it.
Yeah, it's time.
Bottom line.
I'm repeating myself a lot now.
Bottom line, casuals. So and like casuals are gonna need their hardcore players, and hardcore players are gonna need their casuals. I think that's the bottom line of the topic.
And if you can, quit it with the toxicity.
Yeah. No, they're gonna.
Are we gonna end it with that song now?
The toxicity of us.
Can we just have that in the background and fade in?
I wish.
Outro?
I wish we could. Unfortunately,
we can't speed it up like double speed, so they can't track us or anything.
Make a Nightcore remix of it. No.
Let's get an 8-bit thing going on.
I'll see if I can find something. But yeah, we'll end it here. If you guys want to see more of our content, you can go to our website at next-gennation.com. Like us on Facebook at Next Gen Nation Group. Follow us on Twitter at NGN_team. And if you have any questions or topics for consideration, you can email us at nextgennationpodcast@gmail.com.
All right.
Are you
See you
okay?
guys.
Nailed it.
Make sure you subscribe to us, whether it be on iTunes, YouTube, or any of the other podcasting services. See you guys.
See ya. You just do the finger guns.
Sponsored by Language Book.
Not to cyberbullying.
Uh oh. Are you going for?